Welcome to Visionary Investments, where we invest in our visions together. Thank you for joining me today. I think that today's video is going to be so important for your life. And I believe this because it is important that we each follow the purpose and destiny plan that God has for each and every one of us. So often the enemy will try to deter us from the plans that God has and try to discourage us from pursuing it because we've gone through trials or we've gone through adversity, we've faced different things, and it discourages us from pursuing purpose. As a pastor's wife, I've had conversations with people where they truly feel like they have no purpose, that life is just lifing, and they have nowhere to go, nowhere to turn to. And so I want to encourage all of us today to work towards our purpose, to identify our calling, and to know that God has created each and every one of us for a purpose and plan. God has called you. He's called me, and we don't have the same assignment. There is somebody that's called in America. There's someone called in Africa. There's someone called in Asia, but we are all doing the work of the Lord. And so I need you today to really plug into this video and know that it is going to be life-changing for you. We need to understand the calling that God has for us. And so today we're going to dig deep and work towards creating and crafting a personal vision statement. And this may take time. You may have to come back to this video. You may have to pause it. You need to get out a pencil, pen, or get out your computer, type and take notes. But whatever you need to do, take the time you need so that you can begin to pray, begin to seek God and learn. Okay, Lord, what are you calling me to do? I have all these skills, I have all these things, accolades and degrees, or I have, this desire in my heart, this feeling, this unction to do a certain thing. But God, what are you calling me to do? I was listening to a message earlier today, and the pastor was saying the church needs discernment, not only to decipher between good and bad, but also to decipher between the good thing and the God thing. And so I'm praying that as we walk through how to create a personal vision statement, that we will understand how to decipher the good things that are coming our way from the God things that He is calling us to do. So first, I'm going to start with a verse from Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. It reads, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." And the vision is so important because it's the insight, the wisdom that God gives each and every one of us. The Bible talks a lot about different prophets who go before the people of God and explain and tell them what God is saying. But we live in a time, in a dispensation of grace where we have access to the Lord Almighty. And so we can go in prayer and say, Lord, what are you saying to me? Where would you have me to go? How can I change the world? And so God can download a vision for you into your mind, into your heart. And there is still place for prophets. There is still place for pastors and teachers and all those that are there to edify the body of Christ. But there is also your personal relationship with God that helps you to understand, where you are going in life. So let's go forward and learn more about how we cast the vision statement for our lives right now. Now, many people, when they hear vision statements, sometimes they also think of mission statements. And these are terms that are used in corporate America where you have a company that creates a mission statement or vision statement. Now, I don't think those two things are synonymous. They're a little different. While both statements help define a company's character and personality, there are also some differences. So the mission statement, let's get this clear. Mission statement describes what a company does in the present. So those are things that they do. It's how they do it. It's why they do it. That is the mission statement for the organization. But now the vision statement goes a step further from what is currently happening in the company and looks towards the future of what they hope to achieve. So this outlines the company's long-term goals, their aspirations for the future, and their hope for long-term growth, their hope for long-term impact on the world. And so the basic difference between the mission statement and the vision statement is that a mission statement defines what the organization does and what it currently stands for, while the vision statement speaks to their goals and their ideals for the future. Got it? So now we're going to take this terminology that is used for companies and to help companies grow and apply it to our own personal lives so that we can grow and we can be impactful and we can have results and we can see things change in our own lives. So when we are talking about a personal vision statement, we're accounting for our personal long term goals. We're also accounting for our values, the things that we care about or hold closely to our hearts. It's also a combination of what we value and the impact we hope to leave on the earth. So one day when you pass on, someone is going to read your eulogy. What do you want it to say? What is the impact you want to leave behind? What is the legacy you're going to leave to your children and your children's children? How are you going to achieve those things? And how do you hope to achieve the purposes and the plans that God has for you? Now, some examples that I found on glassdoor.com of a personal vision statement, I'll give you three of them. The first says, I want to work with young children and young adults as a mental health counselor. My strong passion for raising awareness around mental health and wellness and my commitment to helping those who are struggling have inspired me to pursue this career. And so, in that example, it identifies who this individual would like to help, how they plan to help. They want to help as a mental health counselor, and why. Their why is they have a strong passion for raising awareness around mental health. And so that is one example of a personal vision statement. Another is, my career goal is to become a personal trainer. I am committed to my own personal health and am motivated to help others achieve optimal health and well-being. So this goal is someone who has a career that they enjoy as a personal trainer. And it talks about, again, who they're trying to help, why they're trying to help them, and the values that underwrite their actions. The last one I'm going to share is, the ultimate career goal is to be a physician working in a poverty stricken area of the country. I've always wanted to help others who are less fortunate and am passionate about health and wellness. So again, it talks about the things that this individual values. They value health, they value wellness, they value helping others who are less fortunate. And so they've taken their desires and values and turned it into a career where they can help people as a physician. Now, personal vision statements do not always have to be related to a career. There are plenty of people out there who do not have a formal career, but are still impacting the world. There are mothers and fathers who are out there who may not have a job or career, but they are raising children and teaching the children to be great people in this world that can lend value to society. And so that in itself is a monumental task. I take my hat off to you, and I know how hard it can be, but I also know that it is worth every burden. It's worth um, every happy day and every frustration day and every sad day. It's worth it because what comes out in the end is something that is precious, something that is worth all of the time it takes. And so we have so many different kinds of vision statements that can be created. You can hope and value, you know, raising children. You can hope and value in helping the less fortunate. You can hope and value uh, doing amazing things in the earth. And the purpose of the vision statement is just to help you identify, okay, what are the things that I value? What are the things I'm good at? What are the things I need to continue to pursue? And, you know, what are the things that align with what God has been telling me to do, so that I can put aside the things that are time consuming and drawing my attention away from what is most important. So now that we have an idea of what a personal vision statement is, we're going to go through some questions, some statements that you can use as you begin to delve into crafting your own personal vision statement. So let's first take a look at strengths. I think that is a great place to start. What are your strengths? Do you recognize the talents, the gifts, the skills that you have? For some of us, we have skills that we've had since we were children. We've been inquisitive. We've been asking lots of questions. Sometimes people think we talk too much because of all the questions we ask. There are qualities about you that, you know, you're outgoing, outspoken, or maybe you're an introvert, maybe you're someone who's very thoughtful. Every person has a unique set of talents and skills and qualities that can be used as strengths that they can lean on. I also think that it's important for you to understand the things that you are very good at doing, as well as the things that you love to do. Now, sometimes those align. You are very good at data and processing data, but do you love it? Is it something you want to do more of? For some people, the answer is yes. For some people, the answer is no. You just developed the skill because you needed it for the job, but it's not something that you're passionate about. So look at your strengths, look at the things you love doing and are good at, and understand how can you apply these strengths in various aspects of your life. So how do these strengths apply to various aspects of your life? What are the ways you can apply this strength to your life? So as I was looking through and trying to do my own personal vision statement, I came up with a couple of my strengths. I personally enjoy reading finance books. I love reading blogs about finance. I like listening to podcasts about finance, and YouTube videos. And this stems all the way from my childhood. I remember listening on tape to The Millionaire Next Door. And my mom had these like cassette tapes, and I don't even know where she got the cassette player from. But she played these tapes in the house, and I learned about the millionaire next door and the qualities of a millionaire, um, and how they're not as flashy as some may think. That it could literally be the neighbor next door who has amassed great wealth in their savings and investments, but they're not out there flashing it for the world to see. And I also read a book as a teenager, The Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it was amazing for me to understand that one day you could own property, um, that would raise in value and help you leave a legacy to your family. And I think the book had a great impact on me. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you know that during my childhood, while I was in middle school, we were homeless at one point. We were in a homeless shelter. And so for me, I believe it would be an amazing feat for me to be able to not only own my own house, but to own investment properties. And that's one of my personal goals, is to one day own investment properties where I can house people and help them to have affordable living situations in in the US where a lot of areas are becoming astronomically overpriced. Um, then I also think after we identify our unique strengths and skills, we should start reflecting on our values. So when you're looking at your values, you can simply Google list of values, and there are so many resources that are available that have lists of words that you can look at. One resource that I found interesting comes from Anthony O'Neill. He had a worksheet that you can do. It has different questions than that align with what I'm teaching today. But he has this list of values that you can look at, and it allows you to pick out words that resonate with you. As I was looking at his resource as well as others, I came across a few values that really resonated with me. Um, they were family, faith, growth, security, equity, and optimism. Family is important to me. I have a young son and I have a spouse, and I love them very much, and they are my priority. And so they, as they're my family and we're working together and growing together and learning together, it's important that when I make career decisions or when I make decisions about where we're going to live, what we're going to do, that, they're not pushed to the side. Um, they are people that I value, and I also value not only them, but even my extended family. And wherever possible, I try to shine a light to be to be a good light, good example, and to love on those in my family. So that's one of the things I value. I also value faith. I am a believer in Jesus Christ. I read my Bible daily. I pray. I teach my child to pray. I am rooted in faith. And I know that there are so many people that are out there who have great skills and can do great things. And I believe I have skills too. But if my skills are not backed by God, I don't think that I can be as effective even in teaching you today without having God on my side and giving me knowledge and wisdom through his word, through prayer that I can share with you. So I think faith in God is a differentiator between people who just have skills and those who are truly gifted by God to do a work. And so when we are talking about building a personal vision statement, we are also talking about, what has God gifted me to do? What has He uniquely called me to do that someone else can't do the same way as me? There are plenty of people out there who are doing personal finance videos on YouTube and on other platforms, but I think that I'm uniquely called to you. And I know that as you spend time with me and you begin to build on your vision and invest in yourself, that we can become better together. The other one I'll go through is equity. I value equity. I remember distinctly as an adult, I was in New Jersey and I lived there temporarily. I was traveling from one neighborhood to another, and I really saw the disparity between one neighborhood and another, where you just cross a block or two and you go from $1 million houses that are beautiful, beautiful houses and quiet, nice, quaint neighborhoods into a zone where there's like cemeteries, there's um, apartment buildings, there's shoes hanging off the power lines. Uh, it's just not as quiet, lots more traffic, lots more things going on. And I thought about how Even the school in that neighborhood was closed down. There were boarded up houses. And I'm like, wow, you just go 2 blocks into a new zone and there is so much disparity. And I remember sitting in the car and feeling tears come to my eyes as I understood how people, many of whom were Black or a different minority in one neighborhood, were suffering and didn't have the wealth to move or to make a change in their neighborhood. But there was a neighborhood right next door, just a few blocks difference, that had all of this prosperity. And so that's a part of my work with visionary investments, is I want to make sure that people can make a decision and can have the resources they need to make the decisions about life that they need to make. It's hard for you to do what God has called you to do when you are limited by not having enough. You're limited by not having the finances you need, when you're limited by the access or just having a safe place to lay your head. So that is a part of my values, is making sure that I'm a part of building in equity, building equity in the communities I serve. I want to make sure that equity, um, that prosperity, that hope can transcend all races, all people. And I know that it is possible. And so I'm just, those are the things that I value. I want you to reflect on your values. What are your personal values? What are the principles you live by? What are the things that you stand for? And how do those values guide your decisions and actions? I'll say that again. How do these values guide your decisions and your actions? It's so important to understand not only what you do, but why are you doing it? The next question, so we've gone through identify your strengths. We've talked about reflecting on your values. So now I want you to get a different point of view. There are people that have been working with you, there are family members, friends. Get a trusted partner to help you and to give you fresh perspective on your potential and your purpose. Ask them, what do you think I'm good at? What are some of the things that I do well? Um, do you think this career is a good fit for me? Why or why not? So find that friend, find that pastor, find that family member, and ask them for their perspective on who you are, the things that you do well, and the things that you can do that is purpose driven, impactful, and see what they say. You may be surprised by what you learn and what you hear. The next one is evaluate your skills. So assess your existing abilities and areas where you would like to grow. This is important because there may be things that you like to do, but may not be good at, but you want to do more of. And so that may require going to school to learn how to do it better. It may require just doing a course online. It may require watching a video or two so you can learn a new skill and grow your ability to do it better and better and better. And so evaluate the skills and abilities you already have and figure out, okay, if I want to grow this skill, if I think this could be a strength, but I haven't really worked on it in a while, start thinking about how can I improve in this area. When I was young, I used to crochet with my grandmother, and I have not done it in years. And so if this was a skill that I wanted to revive, I would have to start taking a class. They have some classes at the library where I could crochet with another group of people. I would gain camaraderie. I would have people who could help identify my weaknesses and strengths and kind of guide me and show me new tricks and new ways of crocheting. And so that's just one example. But if you have a skill you want to hone, just determine how to get there. Once you set the goal in mind, that allows you to build upon it and to grow it. Now, also assess how that skill will be essential for achieving your vision. So, are you just learning to crochet because you like doing it? Or is it a part of a greater vision where you're going to crochet bags and accessories and sell them? So, how does this activity, how does growing this skill, how does getting this education also help you to achieve the vision and the overall goals that you have for your life? The next one I have for you is select your desired position. So, if you are creating a personal vision statement that is related to a career goal, like the ones I read from Glassdoor, then you can start envisioning, what does your ideal position look like? Are you working from home? Are you hybrid? Are you in the office every day? Are you on a large team? Are you on a small team? Do you have a lot of resources? Are you the person building new resources into an old structure? Who do you want to be? What does it look like? What does it feel like to be in that office? Take a moment, take a few minutes, and really envision yourself there. What is the career that you would love to have? What is the role or position you would love to have? Be specific about it. Now, I want you to be very specific about the career. What does your personal life look like because of the career? That's something that's important for us to understand, because if we are choosing a career that is demanding and wants 70 hours per week, then that means our personal life might be shot. So we need to figure out the balance of work life balance. Are you doing a career that requires lots of hours, or are you going to do a career that requires a standard 40 hours a week so that you have time for other things? What what things or what roles do you want to play? If your role in life and the vision you have for yourself is to be a stay-at-home parent, what does that look like? Are you able to take your kid out to soccer games? Are you there to help are you there to help your child do and achieve new uh skills? Or if you are someone who is just filling out life and wanting to explore, are you traveling? Are you traveling abroad? Are you staying in the States? How are you getting there? What does it look like? See, your vision does not have to just be a single dimension, but begin to envision, what could my life look like? That's why in our previous video, we talked a lot about faith and being able to speak to the mountain and seeing it move. We need to have faith to believe for greater, to believe that our past will not prevent us from a greater future. And so it's important for us to really have a hold of faith and trust that things can be better, that I can have the vision, the plans that God has for me, and I can be successful at it. Now, as you've taken time to think about the vision and the position or the career, the role, the positions that you would have in the future, and you've taken time to envision what it would look like in your personal life and what it would look like in your career life, now I want you to take it a little further. What kind of legacy would you like to leave your family and friends? What kind of legacy would you like to leave this world in a few decades, like really long term? What do you want people to be able to say about you? What accomplishments would you love for them to be able to read about you? What tasks do you want to have accomplished by then? Where would you like your life to be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now? Can you dream it? Can you envision it? Can you believe for it? I sure hope so, because it is possible. So start thinking about what kind of legacy you want to leave. Now, I'm going to do a quick recap of the practical steps we just went through. The first one, identify your strengths. The next one, reflect on your values. Third, gain a different point of view. Fourth, evaluate your skills. Fifth, select your desired position. And six, what do you want your legacy to be? Now, the last step is to take all the knowledge you've gained from self analyzing, from prayer, from talking to friends and family who know you well, is to begin to write your vision statement. Now, it's meant to be concise, so maybe 30 to 40 words. It should not be more than a paragraph, and it should summarize your long term goals, your vision, the plan that you believe God has purposed in your heart. It should have some of your values in it, and it should talk about your attributes, your passion, your purpose, and the impact you hope to make on the world. So, a vision statement, it's meant to be a compass that guides you towards your future, your dreams, your goals. It is not, once you do a vision statement, it's not meant to be something that you hold on to for the rest of your life and it cannot change. No, you change and evolve all the time by the experiences you have and the things that you feel and the people you interact with. And so I expect your vision statement to change. I want it to change because I want you to change. I want you to evolve into something greater. So don't be afraid to revisit your vision statement and revise it as needed. And remember, God has called you with a unique purpose. And yes, his plans do not change. But oftentimes, he will lead us to our first step of where he needs us to go and what he needs us to do. And after we reach that step, he can reveal the next one to us so that we can grow and evolve step by step, stage by stage. That's why oftentimes we walk by faith and not by sight. We have to go, even as Jesus said, or God said to Abraham, go to the place I will tell you of. So Abraham had to start walking before he understood where his destiny and his purpose was, where God was going to have him settle. Go to the place I will show you. And so God is going to show you some good things. God is going to show you some good places. And as you begin to craft your vision statements, I would love to hear some of them. So feel free to comment down below with your personal vision statement, or feel free to ask questions if you have questions. I would love to interact with you and help you along your journey. Again, this is Visionary Investments, and I am so proud to be walking with you as you invest in yourself. You are worth it, and I know that God has a great plan and destiny for you. So, God bless you, I'll see you next time.